All right, so this is the second video of showing the. All right, so this is the second video showing my perspective through a macro lens of my visit to the Peabody Essex Museum, and I use this macro type lens to get it. So this one is also of an Asian exhibit, and I just zoomed into a small section. Now, this bit might be a couple of inches by a couple of inches, but the entire piece is much larger. All right, so there's a lot going on, and we're likely going to miss this if we're visiting a museum. We don't look at the small details, right? But there's so much going on, and there's so much effort on from an artist as they put these pieces together, that it goes underappreciated. So my intent was to highlight some of these. So just look at the detail in this. Now, I'm not sure what the message was here because there was so much to see. You could go to this museum 10 times and get a unique experience each time, I think. But this is pretty cool. All right. This one here, it just showed, I think it was interesting because the main focus of this art piece was not this blindfolded person that was in the corner of it, but I found this individual to be one of the more interesting parts of it. So I just zoomed in on his face. So next time you're looking at an art piece, take your time, look at all of it. You might just find something interesting there. Now, why is he blindfolded? I don't know, but I just think it's pretty cool. This other one is also a large painting. And you can see the age on this piece, but it still has a lot of beauty in it and a lot of depth. And this is why I zoomed in on it. This one here is of a large ivory piece. This is all ivory. And look at the carving detail, the workmanship in this stuff. Let me see if I could drop this shadow a little bit. Let's do this. Yeah, so look at the detail on this business here, man. That's just a lot of great work. Time, the amount of time and effort it took to get this done. All right, so it's a larger piece, and I just zoomed in. So this bit is maybe an inch and a half or so in length, maybe 2 inches, a couple inches in length, and maybe an inch and a half in width. You can see someone's ear, their eye, expression on their face. This guy is carrying something. This person's just hanging out, just sitting here. You can see the blossoms on the tree. Just beautiful, and it continues all the way throughout this piece. This is a tiny glass statue that is easily missed. And it looks like they only has one hand. I'm not sure if it was broken off or that was the artist's intent, but I think it's interesting regardless. And this bit here, the piece itself is not so much about, well, from my perspective, it's not so much about what's in the little carriage, but the carriage itself. But when I took a picture of it and brightened it, there's a lot of work that went on to get this person in here, right? Let me erase it a little more. It's gonna be garbage when you erase it up, but just for the benefit of appreciating the amount of work that's in here. Look at that. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Again, easily missed if you're just walking through a museum, especially one as big as the Peabody Essex Museum. You'll have to be there for days on end to appreciate everything, but it's really cool. This other one here is also it's not a big exhibit, but this detail is also easily missed. And just look at that, the amount of work that went into this. So this, I would think, I forgot the size of this thing, but it's zoomed in. Let me see what it's zoomed in as. It's 43 millimeters, and I'm maybe a few inches away from it. So a lot of work went into the fine details of this. All right, continuing on to this photo, and this one has a lot of other figurine type statues on on different platforms, right? But I just zoomed into this one because the expression on this lady's face is interesting, right down to the eyebrows and this thing that she's holding, or this person that she's holding, the dress that they have on. There's a lot of work went into it. A lot of work went into it. Then this other one here is of a larger mural, and again, another thing that shows you just take your time and enjoy these museums. I'm not sure what this lady is saying. My idea is to have these museums have like a art explained kind of video. Every museum should have something like this, art explained, where someone explains what's going on in these pictures. Because I'm not sure if the patrons, actually I'm pretty sure most of us patrons, excuse me, even if we read the blurb or we have the little handheld audio guide, we won't remember most of this stuff, and there's so much coming at you at the same time. But if there's a YouTube channel that goes through some of these pieces, I think it's beautiful. Maybe not all of them, but you don't want to rob the patrons of the experience of going to the museum, but just great art explained, just some of the key pieces. All right, this one is a larger painting, larger drawing I should say. I'm not sure if it's a drawing or a painting. Regardless, this one's of a goat, and there's not a lot of color in here, but it was still interesting to zoom in and see that part of it. And this is of a rabbit that was there. A lot of figurines. You can see another one over here. A lot of figurines on this shelf. I just zoomed in on this rabbit because, again, I appreciated the detail and the painstaking effort it took. A little weird that it has the complete black eyes, but But good, really nice work. Really, really nice work. And this is another part of the same exhibit. And this guy's face, look at this. This thing is about, I'm going to say, 1.5 inches or so. Maybe 1.5 inches. I think 2 inches in height. But you can see the toes, you can see his furrowed brow and his pursed lips. Man, that's crazy. Good stuff, man. And this one, I didn't find it particularly impressive, but I just like to zoom in. My intent that day was to zoom in on hands as much as possible, hands and eyes. All right, so let's go to this one here, and this is of, I don't remember the exhibit, but this is just showing what would I have done differently. Okay, I think I cut off too much of it. I didn't want to get the base too much, but I could have gotten more of the top of this. And I don't think this was too long. I could have gotten more of it. And this is just of the frame of a piece here. And what I could have done differently. Sometimes I have this tendency to lean the camera one way or the other, so it's not on the same plane. So even if I try to straighten it, it's tilted to the right, I think, a little bit. So the left side is farther away from the camera than the right side. So I wish I was more plumb. And there's nothing on the camera that guides you, I don't think. No, it just guides you vertically, that kind of thing. But nothing that tells you depth, I don't think, except maybe the plane of focus. That could have helped. And this one was the top of one of those pieces. And I just zoomed in on its eyes and the face just to show it. This is about the size of a quarter, I think. And this was in the exhibit that had live bats. Now, this is an interesting museum. It had live giant bats as part of the exhibit. And this is just another piece that had flowers. And it's almost like I expected something to come alive in here, like a dragonfly or something. It has that kind of feel to it. But I just zoomed in on these colors because I thought it was interesting. Another one, there's something similar to this that I already took. I can't find it. But this is not in color, as you can see. But a detail that's easily missed over here on this large piece. and I just had to take a picture of it. And the last one for this video is of a bunch of owls that were hanging out on the street. I think they're taxidermy, but very well done. Yeah, they're definitely taxidermy. Very, very well done. What would I have done differently? Not much, because okay, maybe I would have gotten the entire branch because it's suspended here and make it more symmetrical. So less headroom and the entire branch. Aside from that, not much else I would have done with this picture. I did contrast, raised the exposure a little bit. Yeah, that's actually better, much better. All right, cool.